All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel and to the 2025 prep series. Thank you to everyone who has followed along all the way up until this point. It's been a very, very long process because we have been in prep since the beginning of March and it is now the middle. I had to really think about it there. That shows you what phase we're at. It's about the middle of September, September 12th, and we are about 30 days out from show number one, which is very exciting. We're at the stage now where the counting is more in days than it is in weeks, but I think it'll be 4 weeks out on Sunday, and then by the time that you guys see it, it'll be a little bit closer to 3 weeks out, which is very, very cool. Yeah, the prep has been going fantastically thus far. Way, way better from a process perspective than it was in 2022. Just so many other variables that have been really dialed in to the point where I feel a lot better, not just physically, but mentally. I think by this point I was pretty much spent most days, pretty much non-functioning from a cognitive perspective. Like brain fog was abysmal, my digestion was terrible, and we're at a spot now where a lot of those things are being managed relatively well. And conditioning is already better than it was when I was on stage last time. We got a few more pounds to chip away before the first show, and then a few more that will probably continue to take off in between that one and the second show. The first show, again, is going to be the NBW International, which we are very excited to skip across the pond and go over and check out. We've never been to the UK, so we'll be flying into London, and then I'll be driving on the left side of the road for a little ways. It's going to be fun. So we're very much so looking forward to that, looking forward to meeting some people out there, and then also too, we'll be doing the next show, which is going to be the qualifier. That's going to be here stateside. So that'll be a few weeks after the UK show, but today's video is going to be a full day of eating, everything that I'm eating to continue to chip away at this body fat here. Again, there's not a ton left. When it comes to my physique right now. We've already come down about 22 or so pounds in the last 27 or so odd weeks. So we have meal one that's getting cooked up right now, and technically meal two, because I'll prep them both in the beginning in the morning, but meal two is definitely not ready to eat yet. That little liquid shake there, that means that it is nowhere near the frozen caliber that we want it to be. I find that I either want my meals super hot or super cold. So I'm very sensitive about temperature at this point, and just a lot higher food focus in general. So when you don't get a lot of food, you put a little bit more effort and energy into the food that you do have. So I'm very sensitive about the cream, making sure that that is nice and cold, and also too it's sufficiently frozen. And then here for meal one, we have 300 grams of Greek yogurt, we have 20 grams of peanut butter, and 100 grams of mixed berries. So that's blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. This is an enjoyable one in that, again, I'm gonna slowly chip away at this and try to savor it and enjoy it. Usually I'll do that in the morning while I'm reading my Bible, and then I'll jump into work, and then you'll see the meal two go in probably 3 or 4 hours from now. I'm not as hungry in the mornings as I am in the evenings, so I try to put a little bit more space between my meals from the time that I wake up, just in that first meal one, meal two window. And for guys who wake up and they're not as hungry in the morning, that's most people I would say, I would highly recommend spacing your meals out the same way, assuming that you probably train in the evenings or in midday, afternoon, kind of like I do. If not, if you're someone who goes and trains earlier in the morning, then you might have to stack more of those calories towards the front end of the day. And I have a video on that that's about how to manage your hunger in prep. I'll have that linked in the description, but we're gonna put this down and we're gonna get to some work, and I'll catch up with you guys at meal two. All right, so meal number two is about to go in. Again, cream of rice. Only real change from where we were a few weeks ago is that it is now 80 grams of cream of rice instead of 100. In the meantime, though, I do have to get the meal 3 ready to rock, which is the post-workout meal. That's going to be the ground beef, rice, green beans. If you are someone who goes to Crush It, you see me at the gym, you always will see me microwaving this meal at the end of the training session because it goes in right after I finish. But yeah, the cream of rice has been a fun thing to always have in because it's just a meal that I don't get sick of. And then also too, from a, hunger perspective, dieting for a long period of time, most things just taste really freaking good when you don't have that much to it. Again, like the food focus starts to go up, and also too, your palate changes. So in the off season, and when I am 15, 20 pounds heavier, I could be on the same amount of food, and the types of foods that I'm actually interested in and how much I enjoy them really changes. So now that I'm down into like the 170s, I was 178 again this morning, that has me in a spot where the things that are more sweet, the things that are chocolatey and stuff like that, those are the flavors that I enjoy a lot more. And actually, like the things that I have that are flavored, like whey and even like the pre-workouts and stuff, even electrolytes, that stuff I just enjoy so much more than when food's high. Like when food's high, it kind of just goes in and it is what it is. But where we're at in the position, being 4 weeks out, this stuff just tastes amazing. And it doesn't really matter what it is. So don't, I say this, with a grain of salt. Usually you don't want to take people's opinions when they're deep into prep on what tastes good, because the minute that they come out of being starving, that stuff doesn't really taste all that great. But the meals that I have right now taste fantastic to me. The cream of rice has, again, been the staple, and I have a cinnamon French toast whey that I blend with it with a little bit of peanut butter, and then I just put a ton of water in it so that it feels like it's more food. So it tastes great for me. We'll see if it still tastes great when I'm back into the off season, but I'm gonna eat this, sit down, have my typical pre-workout ritual of watching somebody else train. It's gonna be a big push day today, so we'll go in, nail that session. It's not a very long one. It's usually my quickest session. And then after that, we are going to try to switch off, and we actually are going out tonight to go grab dinner. I say grab dinner, we're going to a friend's house. Grab dinner with them, so I'll bring one of my meals with me there. You'll see that there for meal 4. And then tomorrow is the back and leg session. And mentally, like, switching on for the back and leg session, I have to remind myself that I only have like 4 of these left, realistically, before the first show. So that helps me really get in the frame, but picking up the RDL sets when I'm still working with 405 for a top set is something that's like mentally, I don't ever feel like going and doing that at this point. But today is gonna be more of a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. I'm rambling now, so I'm going to put this meal down and then we'll get to the session. All right, so we're about to head to the gym right now. It is still pretty nice weather here in Charlotte. It is like 79, I think, degrees right now. So I have been continuing to enjoy my drives to the gym with the top down and the sun shining. But even in the 79 degree, 80 degree weather, the wind and all that, it gets colder now. It gets colder. Again, when I was heavier, it was obviously you could just enjoy that from a sunshine perspective, but right now I am at the point where I don't have as much shame about wearing a sweatshirt when it's 79 degrees outside, because I am cold going into the gym and when I'm driving with the top down. So it is what it is, but we're going to continue to enjoy it, and then once we kind of get warmer into the gym and get into the movements and all that, maybe the sweatshirt comes off, maybe it doesn't, who knows. We're at that point right now. All right, guys, we just wrapped up the push session, took our post-workout check-in photos. I'll put up a couple of those. Getting sharper week by week, but now we are ready for meal number 3, which is a personal favorite because, again, we still got some rice left in this guy. 100 grams of raw weight rice. We have 150 grams of 91.9 ground beef, so a little bit of fat in there, and then 100 grams of mixed vegetables, which is an absolute blast. It's the same macros as green beans, so I just swap them interchangeably in there, depending on how I'm feeling and what I have prepped. And then we have some Cholula in here, which is some classic calorie-free hot sauce. You'll find ways to add flavor and excitement to your meals when you're eating the exact same meals every single day in prep, so that's the way that I do that. So we're gonna put this sucker down, and then we are going to move on to meal 4. Okay. We have a super exciting meal 4 with 150 grams of chicken breast and 100 grams of the same mixed vegetables. This is the meal that we'll go and take and have. Now I'm gonna have this for dinner. I'm not really sure what's on the menu at what are they cooking?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I thought they were making something that was like similar, like chicken and potatoes or something maybe?
I think there is a change in the menu.
Oh, okay. Well, doesn't matter. It's going to be the same thing regardless, so my portion will probably be a lot smaller than everybody else, and that's A-okay, because that's what we do to get the job done. So this is probably like the smallest meal, I would say, out of everything that I eat, so even though it doesn't seem like a lot on training days, most of my other meals, I do get more food, you know? You guys have seen the first 3, and each one of these are much bigger than this. So, but this is basically just to square me away, give me another protein feeding in between that post-workout window and when we actually have our final meal of the day. So now that we're going and getting dinner with our friends, we are going to push that meal 5 so that I make sure that I still have some carbs at the very end of the day. So we'll check in on that meal in just a little bit. There's the cookies that I can't have. It's okay. Does it taste good?
Mine has pretzels in it.
Okay, I'll have one in 3 months. And we got back quite late from our friend's house, and I definitely forgot to film the last meal. So it was the very last thing on my mind when we went to bed like 3 hours later than we normally do. So the last meal I'm currently working on, meal number 5 of training days. We have 60 grams of oats, which is super watery because I put a ton of water in it right now. Because it makes it feel like there's more of it. So I'll let that sit and kind of thicken up a little bit. And then I also have 150 grams of berries with about 130 grams of Greek yogurt. So that dual fold combo is enough to make sure that I feel good before I go to sleep. I sleep well, I don't wake up hungry. And that is gonna be pretty much the entire full day of eating. Again, this is at 4 weeks out, probably 3 weeks out by the time that you guys are seeing this, so continue to follow along with the channel. If you have not liked the video, if it was helpful, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're going to continue to document the prep process, take you guys through peak weeks and show days and all kinds of fun stuff like that, so follow along. We'll see you in the next one.